Picture the year. The internet was arriving in living rooms. Riverdance was on tour. A sheep named Dolly was about to be cloned. And on Sean McDermott Street in Dublin, the last Magdalene laundry in Ireland was still open for business. Women inside, washing other people's linen for no wages, behind a locked door. It closed that year, 1996. Not in some sepia Victorian past you can hold at arm's length, but within the lifetime of nearly everyone hearing this. The instinct is to file a story like this under history, something the modern world outgrew. It hadn't. The machine was running in the era of the mobile phone. The laundries took their name from Mary Magdalene, the Gospel's reformed sinner. The logic was right there in the name. A woman who had fallen, pregnant outside marriage, or merely poor, orphaned, too pretty, or simply judged at risk of sin could be washed clean by labor. She was called a penitent. What she had to repent was, in most cases, being a woman to whom something had happened. Inside, the penitents washed. They scrubbed sheets for hotels, hospitals, barracks, and government departments. Unpaid, often for years, sometimes for life. Many were stripped of their names and given new ones. They could not leave when they wished. The doors were locked, and the windows were barred. This was not a fringe. Ireland's own inquiry, the Magdalene's report of 2013, documented that more than 10,000 women and girls passed through the laundries between 1922 and 1996, and the state was no bystander. It referred women through the courts and the county homes, and it bought the laundries' services. The state was directly involved in more than a quarter of all known admissions. On the 19th of February, 2013, the head of the Irish government, Enda Kenny, stood in the Dale and apologized to the women on behalf of the state for the hurt that was done to them and for any stigma they suffered. The laundries were for the women. There was a parallel system for what happened when a penitent was pregnant. The mother and baby home. An unmarried woman who got into trouble was sent by her family, her parish, her doctor, to give birth out of sight. Ireland's Commission of Investigation, whose final report landed in January 2021, examined 18 such institutions. It found that roughly 56,000 mothers and 57,000 children passed through them between 1922 and 1998. The mothers worked. The births were often recorded in secret, and a great many of the children did not leave with their mothers at all. They were placed for adoption, some sent overseas, with consent that was coerced, uninformed, or simply absent. The day after the report, the head of government, Michael Martin, delivered a second state apology for what he called a profound generational wrong. And here is the figure the commission could not soften. Of the children born or held in those 18 homes, about 9,000 died, roughly 1 in 7. The report described an appalling level of infant mortality, and it found, plainly, that the homes appeared to have significantly reduced the prospects of survival of the children in them. A child handed to the institution was, statistically, in more danger than a child left outside it. The places built to manage shame were killing the young, at a rate the country tolerated for decades, because the dead were the children of the wrong women. The number stopped being a statistic in a town called Tuam, in County Galway, where the Bon Secours sisters ran a mother and baby home from 1925 to 1961. A local historian named Catherine Corliss went looking for where the home's dead children were buried. She found death certificates, eventually 796 of them, children who died at the Tuam home, and almost no corresponding burial records. The graves were not in any cemetery. Pressed by her work, the commission ran a test excavation of the site and confirmed what the headlines had only alleged: human remains in significant quantities in a series of underground chambers, a structure built to handle sewage. The remains ranged from babies of about 35 weeks to children of 2 or 3 years old. For years, the state delayed. Then, in July of 2025, a specialist office finally began the full forensic excavation of the Tuam site, a recovery and identification effort expected to take about 2 years. Children who were denied a grave for 60 years are, at last, being counted by name. This series insists on honest figures, and here honesty cuts the opposite way, from the Inquisition or the witch trials. There, the popular numbers run too high, and we cut them down. Here, almost everything runs the other way. 2 corrections in fairness. The septic tank of the early headlines was imprecise. The Tuam chambers were part of a decommissioned sewage structure. And the 796 is the count of documented deaths over the home's life, not a tally of bodies in a working tank. But notice what survives every correction: 10,000 confined women, 56,000 mothers, 9,000 dead children, a grave of infants in a sewage vault, confirmed by the state's own dig, 2 heads of government apologizing on behalf of the nation. These are not the inflations of legend. They are the flaws of official inquiries, the least the record will allow. And the door on the last of it locked in 1996. The apologists have their answer. These were the harsh values of the whole society, they say, not the church. Everyone treated unwed mothers this way back then. The infant deaths were just the era's poor medicine. The church cared for Ireland when the state wouldn't. And it has apologized. This is settled history now. But the whole society is half true and fully evasive. Yes, a cruel public consensus made these places possible. But the consensus was built and blessed by a church that taught that an unmarried mother was a sinner and her child a stain. Then it ran the institutions, kept the records, and collected the contracts. Poor medicine cannot explain a death rate inside the homes worse than outside them. The danger was the institution, not the century. And the care was unpaid, forced labor, behind locked doors. Settled is the apologist's favorite word for a story still being excavated. Literally. The bodies at Tuam are being lifted from the ground right now. The adoption files are still sealed against the people they belong to. And the survivors are still alive to be told, again, that it was all a long time ago. It was not. It ended the year of the cloned sheep.